team, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be part of this panel. Thank you. So, I think it's a special day that we are having this session today on 21st on deliberating on the global potential and the training needs for creating India's human capital to be exported in time to come. Why this special day? Because today is the day where entire world is doing the International Day as the International Day of Yoga. So my best wishes to all of you, first of all, before I start on the skilling aspect. Yeah, please.
Today is what the Yoga Day, which is a very recent origin. But today is actually the summer solstice. Summer solstice, we have the longest day.
Absolutely.
Today is the longest and the night shortest. The very idea is to make people's life as bright as possible, like June 21st, which is the longest day.
Right, so thanks for adding for that. I think it's a wonderful day to start this session. Right, so two important events, and the third important is we are at IMC here to discuss on the global requirements on the skilling. So not a formal presentation, but I'll cover my topic in 10 minutes with three agendas clearly. First, I'll briefly touch upon what Kohinoor Technical Institute is all about. Secondly, I'll touch upon some exciting time when we say skilling and how India perspective is there in skilling. And third aspect, I'll touch upon the global picture, the way the global requirements there on the skilling aspect. Kohinoor Technical Institute. Kohinoor has been in the vocational space for over 5 decades now. The institute started way back in 1962. And with the classroom of 4 students, when we talk about 54th year, which is in 2016, Kohinoor has expanded its presence on all India basis with 8 states coverage, with 80 branches, and annually we provide training to approximately 20,000 students. So that's the spread what Kohinoor has been doing as its presence in the vocational education. Over these 5 decades, till date, as a successful training imparted, we have trained over 500,000 students or youth in India. And a moment of pride for Kohinoor is out of 500,000 students, almost 300,000 students are getting their livelihood because of the skilling that we have provided to the students in India. The ethos on which we run this technical institute based on 3 core principles: the skills, the employment, and the livelihood. So that's the ethos that we have when we run this as a vocational education. When I say categorically vocational education, Kohinoor Technical Institute does 2 types of vocational skilling. One is the traditional Kohinoor Technical Institute. The name itself suggests it's a technical education. So of course we have trades, and the skilling that we impart is in the field of electrical, mechanical, AC refrigeration, so on and so forth. So which is more like a technical skilling that we impart. Of the time, with the changing times, Kohinoor has already started training students on new age industry courses. So which is more in the field of retail. I have my friends here from Retail Sector Skill Council. Retail, beauty wellness, healthcare segment. When we say healthcare, it's paramedic that we run, and soon we'll be entering with the aviation sector. Year and a half back, when we were doing this journey, we crossed a major milestone when we got a partnership status with India's central machinery, who is running this entire skilling activity, which is NSDC. So Kohinoor got affiliated, and today it's a moment of pride for us that one of the lead training partners, and using the category word lead because we are one of the top 10 training partners with National Skill Development Corporation, and work very, very closely on strategic initiatives, working with Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, which is also a newly formed ministry, very supportive, very aggressive when it comes to skilling, work with this ministry and the teams across. As a recent step towards skilling, we are initiating as a contribution towards international skill development by setting up what we say is International Migration Training Skills Center. We are working very closely with the Retail Sector Skill Council on this aspect, on this chapter. As a part of expansion, when we expanded our footprint in Uttar Pradesh, for the first time where Kohinoor expanded its wing in the northern part of India, we have started our center at Prime Minister constituency, which is none other than Varanasi. It's a good setup what we have at Varanasi, which is around 8,000 square feet. And we intend to run this International Migration Training Center at Varanasi by training the youth in the retail sector to make them employable internationally. That's the core objective that we are starting this center. We target to operationalize this center in 4 weeks from now. So that is as far as one of the milestones I should not forget to share this with Augustine audience is early this year. It's again a moment of truth that with the state Maharashtra MSSDS. I hope we would have some colleagues here from MSSDS. Kohinoor has signed an MOU to train 100,000 youth in Maharashtra per annum for the next 5 years. So that's something which we have signed as an MOU with MSSDS, and we are very, very focused in expanding and penetrating our presence in Maharashtra. Today, Kohinoor is there on 29 districts mapped across Maharashtra against 24 existing districts. So that is as far as the Kohinoor is concerned. Now let's take a quick look at the India by large as a skill capital. What our Prime Minister's dream is to make this as a skill hub or a skill capital for global entities. All of us we know, it's been talked about in various forums, in the skill forum, skill seminars. By 2020, India is going to be the youngest nation globally. And what we estimate as the projection which is given is the median age in India will be 29. When we say median age, that means 50% of the population will be adult to 29. But 50% population is 29 minus. And that's that youth that we are talking about globally, which will create India as a landmark, as the youngest nation. ILO estimates by 2030, India will have 1.48 billion as a population. Today it is 1.3, so that's the rate with which India will grow in its population as around 1.48 billion. Now, out of this 1.48 billion, around 600 million as a count will be qualified as a workforce. And that's what is the uniqueness India will have as creating workforce. At the same time, if you look at American Census Bureau report, which states clearly there will be still skill shortage by this 2022, where US will have 17 million skill shortage, UK will have 2 million skill shortage, China will have 17 million skill shortage. At the same time, India will have 47 million as a surplus in the workforce. So that's the story which clearly tells us it's a huge potential when we talk about India as a skill capital. Because this 47 billion as a skill population or the population which is a surplus population, clearly the local supply will be insufficient to create this as a demand to be satisfied as a engaged workforce in Indian economy by itself. And there were 100% it will be a potential to have this additional workforce to be exported in the global field. And that's what is, I think, the potential as a topic which we have set for the panel discussion. Now, which are those areas? Because when we talk about this global requirement, I think there are 4 spots when we say as a global requirement. So we'll discuss that more in Q&A when the Q&A comes up. So there is one need which is required when we talk about the global requirement. The skill aspect to create this global workforce is little different than the skill aspect when we talk about creating workforce which is required within India as a skilled workforce. So I think with this note, I'll end it here right now. We'll leave it open for the question and answers in the open sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sunil, would you like to know? Asmax Skill Development Limited. Just to give you a little bit of background, Asmax Skill Development Limited is part of Asmax Group. At Asmax, every year we hire somewhere around 30 to 55,000 people and place them mainly in our projects in Middle East. Almost 90% of people get it. So in this skill ecosystem, we are both consumer and producer of skilled workforce. I want to focus my talk mainly on what kind of skill is really required by the global economy. I was reading an article, I think a couple of days back, regarding there's a story regarding Foxconn. The CEO of Foxconn said that by 2020, he is going to purchase 1 million robots. He has already a workforce of 1 million people, and he is going to purchase 1 million robots. Now, what does it mean? 1 million robots means, if not more, at least 1 million jobless. They're simply. I'm not much worried because anyway in Middle East we don't have much of fabrication plants. Neither we have so much jobs in India also in that area. Then as the article progressed, there was another story at Manchester Airport when anybody has visited recently. There are no human janitors. There are robot janitors. Okay, fine, but still in UK, developed economy. Coming to Southeast Asia, now there are robots waiting tables in China, in South Korea, in Singapore, and in Japan. That was a little bit worrisome because we at Asmax work very closely with the tourism and hospitality sector state council and are setting up an international management center for tourism and hospitality. But it was still little bit less to worry because that was still not a big chunk of people that we generally recruit. But our focus is mainly on the construction sector and the petroleum industry sector. But then, I think a week back I read another story. This would be very glad to hear that even in his interesting emerging technology, a full building has been 3D printed. And guess what? It's in Dubai. And that is where majority of my trained people go. I was getting worried. Now, the reason why I am saying all this is because the developed economy is moving from what we can call low skilled workforce to maybe medium skilled workforce. Maybe Germany or Europe or say China or Japan won't need low skilled people. They would need people who are medium skilled. We are yet to catch up. The problem is not immense at the moment, but it's going to happen. And there is one more thing also. Closer home, we have a company where we do a lot of ship repairing work. We had planned that there will be 50 odd people which will be hiring, we will be training them and hiring in our project in Vizag. But my MD there in Vizag, a month back, he bought a machine from UK which costed him somewhere around 300,000 pounds, and we just need one operator to operate. But that was 50 people less getting employed. So the point that I am trying to make is the developed economy is gradually moving from level 1, say level 1 in the bottom of the pyramid to level 2 of the skill ecosystem. And by the time, and the skill development in India is starting, I think, started I think 5 years, 6 years back, and it's picked up I think almost just 2 years back. If we do not pay attention, if we do not work together towards creating that ecosystem where vocational education becomes mainstream education, then India would always play a catching up game and we might lose the bus also. Because if people today, there are lots of people that I am training today, lots of people, say in case of electrician, lots of students who come, they come from, they're generally class 10 or 12th dropout who come. When I train them, you'll be surprised to hear that they even do not know how to convert millimeter to centimeter. Rather than assistant electrician that we train, one of the basic things is you need to understand how to use the tape, the measuring tape. Now internationally, all the measurements are done in millimeter. In India, we do mostly measurement in centimeter. And they cannot convert millimeter to centimeter. So that is the state of primary or secondary education in India. Now, the solution that is proposed, and I hope it will work, is the one which is being used in Germany, where vocational training is also part of the secondary or the primary education. In India also we can give, like in schools we have, third language as a regional level, third language which is optional. Something can take very much, we can take Oriya or we can take Sanskrit. Same way, one vocational training should be optional, which a student can take during his education system. That will at least bring in a culture of vocational training. And now what happens? If we are trying to train people, I'm not talking about the bottom of the pyramid, we are trying to train people who are generally school dropout, college dropout, they do not have any sense of what is an electrician, what is a plumber. Now, one of my training centers is in Kendrapada district, and Kendrapada is home to almost 75% plumber population in India. If you pick up any 3 plumber out of 4, they will be from Kendrapada. When I went there, I told her, why not to take training in electrician? Because electrician would earn more salary than a plumber. They are not interested. They do not know what an electrician is. All they want is they want to go for plumber training. They don't want to even go for plumber training. All they want to do is they want to become a plumber. So that's, the student at that, the children at that level, they are not educated. They do not know what are the options which are available to them. If vocational education is made part of the school curriculum, as an optional subject or something, then that knowledge would come. People would be able to choose right at a very early stage where they want to go, what they want to do. I'm also. So my concern is that we have to develop. I know a lot of things have been done. NSPF has been set up. I've seen a lot of state governments starting this vocational training as a pilot project in schools. But we have to make it a mass thing. CBSE, state boards, all have to get involved and have to build this ecosystem, have to build this culture. Otherwise, we will be very, very late to this ecosystem and forget about global employability. Even in India also, we will not be able to employ the people. Again, my focus is on the bottom of the pyramid.
We'll have the panel discussion quickly in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and thereafter any questions. So this has been a very interesting discussion on the topic. Radhika, first, I am very interested to see that media of the talent you transformed into a multinational talent. So what is the secret? What do you do, the Indo-American, the Indo-German, that people who just cannot speak even English, they are into communications function at a multinational?
I will take all credit for it. I think the point I was trying to make is that sometimes it's just the maturity of the industry that identifies the status. When at the training center, we tell people to apply. Talent is picked up even prior to starting the program. They are just willing to give that person a chance. And that was because they saw on the girls' form just very clear 5 goals with it. Simple goals, like she wants to learn music. She wants to, and that clarity of thought is something that impressed a mentor at Siemens, who said that if this girl brings this kind of clarity in terms of simple thoughts and has tangible goals that she wants to achieve in 6 months, she can probably achieve a lot. I think that's what the point that I was still trying to make is that it's the maturity of the industry, and I think in India what we need is a lot more industry interaction. And the entire program at the training center, all that we do at the chamber is to bring the industry together to, and I think this is very special to Germany, that the overall belief in the dual education system, that the industry can play a role and can contribute to mentoring students, is very high. So I think the success is basically the industry interface.
Wonderful. Chandrasekhar, you very clearly highlighted sectors which are going to be growth oriented. You spoke about the roti kapda aur makan, apart from education, hygiene, and leisure. Puja. According to you, what are the job opportunities for these sectors if Indians have to apply abroad?
In fact, there are opportunities end-to-end. Take food, for example. It's not just food production of crops, which the farmer does. But after that, you have the procurement, you have processing, you have quality control, you have supply chain management, you have warehousing, logistics, storage, insurance, finance. At every stage of the food industry, or agriculture, agribusiness, and food processing industry, there are opportunities. There are both job opportunities and a crying need for skill development. And this is only an example. This way, you look at the textiles, clothing, housing, infrastructure, energy. In each one, there's a huge supply chain, and the supply chain lacks specific skills. There's a need for specific skill. It lacks a specific skill, and therefore there are both job opportunities and skill development opportunities. Unless you develop skills, jobs will not happen. And we need to actually both job creation and skill development will have to move in tandem. Otherwise, you cannot. We should not be in a situation where we have skilled a very large number of people, but jobs are not getting created. Therefore, it's an extremely tricky activity. It has to be moderated. I would actually think that at every stage, the demand from the industry for jobs should be slightly ahead of the availability of skilled people. Because those who are skilled will obviously be in great demand, and obviously their stocks will rise. They'll be much better paid.
So you mean to say we anticipate demand and according to what is happening?
Exactly. And moderate the skill development program.
Great.
But training the trainer is going to be a big challenge. Where are the trainers for the skill development? That's something, I don't know, I mean, there are no easy answers, but all of us have to think about and come up with some solution. I don't know if I have a special skill and if the world or this country or anyone expects me to be a trainer, I would say I would rather go and use my skill and make more money. I shouldn't worry about it. Training somebody often is perceived as a waste of time, believe me. And therefore, skilling people must also become an attractive proposition for the trainers. Very important.
Thank you. Samir, you mentioned in your speech about Kohinoor having served the nation for the last more than 50 years, and you also mentioned the amount of talent centers that you have across Maharashtra. It's amazing. So, what is your modus operandi? How do you ensure the rural talent and basically the ones who are 10 standard pass are skilled towards employability?
I think before answering the question straight, I think we need to understand first the challenge as a training provider. The challenge what we have today by large in the society is vocational training is still not considered as an aspirational training. So that's the first challenge what we have in the society by large. So when you say specifically how we target second pass or 12th pass or other 12th fail, so there are 2-3 aspects which we work on. One is with the past success story of the candidates who have taken the vocational education and they are doing as a status in their life. That becomes our testimony that how the vocational track leads to a successful life as a society standing. Right? So with I mentioned some numbers, right? With 500,000 students passed out, with 300,000 students in the livelihood or in the job. Almost 10% of our students are entrepreneurs. So the communication that goes to these children who can't take their formal education for whatever reason, maybe socioeconomic class or maybe the intellect where they cannot be a best way to the formal education to pursue their career ahead. So we create a story that the OIFO is an institute which creates job givers and not job seekers. Because that creates that as an aspiration at a first level to the students where we approach that if I take up this as a career, maybe I will start something on my own. So as a matter of fact, we are soon going to launch our next phase, which is called as a Startup Incubation Center. And that's something which helps us in promoting this education in the rural areas as well as in tier 2, tier 3 and coming to the major cities like Mumbai.
Great, fantastic. Sunil, you spoke about robots. Okay, and the threatening part is you said that the machine replaced 49 people. Okay, so one was operating the machine, so 49 guys were redundant. How do you ensure that we in India create opportunities for creating jobs? And it's related to a question that I will ask you, sir, as an economist, on the basis of his answer.
Yeah. See, I'll take you back to history. Like when computers came, we all feared that all jobs would be lost. But when IT came, there are so many jobs which are created. So when robots comes, machines comes, artificial intelligence comes, there are another level of jobs which will get created. The productivity would increase. More talent would be required, better talent would be required. But my concern is, are we prepared for that? It should not so happen that robots come so early and we still have a huge population which are untrained, unskilled, and they cannot be skilled for a higher skill. Just to give an example, say if I have got a robot in my factory, I need at least a diploma engineer, person at a diploma engineer, intelligence level to manage it, maintain it. I cannot have a school dropout maintaining that one. I need a person who is at least vocationally trained as a machine operator, maybe if you have taken a 6 months or a 12-month course to go and operate it. Not a school dropout who is getting trained at say at NSQF level 1 going and maintaining. It's not possible.
Okay, I tend to agree because on one side we are talking about infusing technology if we want to export talent and to ensure that Indians imbibe a lot of technological skills. But as Samir has mentioned that we will have a surplus population which is trained, there is this dilemma as to do we import robots and take away jobs or what? The Indian Army, once I had asked a general that you guys are very spick and span, it's lovely to enter your premise. Every time it's so nice and chakachak. So he said in confidence, he said, Prashant, there is no war. What do we do with this army? So unless they are occupied, we will have a war amongst the army division. So to keep them occupied, we ensure that they garden, they keep things alive, etc. So I think that is where we will land up. But sir, as an economist, this thing comes to you in terms of if this situation arises out of the robots and the technology coming into India and jobs becoming redundant for Indians. As an economist, do you agree that if you don't have jobs, we as a nation, the government will be shouldering the responsibility of taking care of the welfare of citizens, and which will lead to taxes coming down, and the nation going into debts more and more, and anarchy spreading in India. So, what are your views about this scenario against unemployability?
I agree. It's a potentially possible scenario. That's number one. But let's not forget, nobody can stop the march of science, and nobody can stop technology infusion. Whether we like it or not, increasingly life is going to be driven by technology. There's no doubt about it. It's only a matter of time. In some countries, it may be slow. In some countries, it may be fast. Therefore, technology is a matter of reality and fact. That's number one. And therefore, if we accept that technology is a matter of reality, and there is a strong relationship, again, whether we like it or not, between technology infusion and employment creation, job creation. The greater the technology infusion, proportionately less, or to some extent, whatever be the extent, job creation of job opportunity becomes much. So it's an extremely tricky situation, thankless situation, and therefore we cannot stop the incursion of technology in our lives, and therefore skill development becomes increasingly important. That those who find themselves without an employment have adequate skills to find jobs, even with the incursion of technology in every area, which means the quality of skill development has to be really higher end rather than low end skills. And for that, in my opinion, what is important is a strong foundation of primary education. We don't have today a strong foundation in primary education. That who mentioned someone cannot convert millimeters into centimeters. What kind of primary education he must have had? But I think the strength, success in skill development will have to start from a strong foundation of primary education. And the primary education is quite good. People are smart, people are intelligent, but if they have good primary education, I think the potential for skill development, the ease with which we can develop skills will be much better. Possibly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Yeah.
I have one point to support what he's saying, because if you see on the e-shopping and m-shopping that we do today, I mean, if we just throw a question out, how many guys on the m-shopping, everybody will hand this, but with that kind of technology is happening where we are on Flipkart and Jabong and all, the kind of manpower which is required to support the logistics and warehousing, I think there is a humongous manpower which is required at the back end, which is, there is a dearth of skill over there today. So though the technology will grow, but the human element to support the technology will be the interior movement till the human race is there on this globe.
I hope so that happens. Yeah.
Of course, it's common sense. All of us know when the oil boom started early 1970s, and the Arab nations started to see wells. So in the 80s and 90s, there was a huge influx of people into the Gulf countries, UAE and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. That changed in the 90s and 2000s because we slowly moved into the knowledge economy, and Indians particularly started going to the US, for example, and more recently to Australia, etc. And now, going say go towards 2020, in my opinion, after the Middle East, after the US, is going to be Europe, which is the target. Given the age profile of Europe, Europe is going to find it's an extremely short of people to run all the service industries, whether it's a mall or a restaurant or even the manufacturing sector for that matter. So I think it will be important for India as a nation to identify which of those skills that Europe will fall short of from say 2020 and try and impart those skills to Indians who will be willing to do it. Therefore, I think Europe is the next market which would probably take a very large number of Indians.
Thank you. Radhika, your work in Indo-German has been great, and you've spoken about doing miraculous things. Do you also collaborate with other chambers like the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce to enhance employability in and out of India? Do you do any such initiatives?
Well, not that I've directly been involved with, so I don't want to comment too much on it. Of course, the chambers all over, all binational chambers, it is a very healthy relationship, but not that we're actively doing stuff together. I mean, there was a time when the Swiss chamber was putting together a web program also, and we were supporting them in terms of sharing things together. Not that we're actively doing it.
I think it will be a good idea to collaborate to ensure that this entire thing comes for the Indians to get more jobs. Sudeep, you mentioned about that ecosystem. How do you create this ecosystem for fostering vocational education in India?
The one proposal that I was giving was the one which is used implemented in Japan, where you have got this dual education system, where students, apart from studying the going to the normal school curriculum, they also pick up the vocational education. Maybe in India, maybe they can pick up something more separate as an optional. Say, when I pick up electrician or a plumber or a mason or something like that, mobile phone operator, something like that, as an optional based around one of the electives.
Mobile phone.
Yeah, my idea is that, right, like when we're in school, none of us are worried about vocation or job or anything. I guess when this thing comes up, people will start thinking about it, right, when they're kids, when they're at school.
Great. I think mobile phone operators, they're going to become the kings as the country becomes more telecom oriented. Last question to Sabir. You mentioned that you feel very proud to become a partner with NSTC. And so how has been your experience? Has NSTC been able to, have they been enabling you to do something different than what Kohinoor has been doing for the last 50 years?
This question is personal or professional?
This is the IMC question.
Yeah, so from Kohinoor perspective, let me put it that way, right? I think yes, I mean, partnering with NSTC has only given us a more fillip as far as we driving the skill initiatives on pan-India basis. Why I say so? Because the kind of, now NSTC itself is a machinery, right? So NSTC is comprised of even the sector skill council. We have one of our good friends sitting here, Ambaresh, as a BFSI, right? So we work very close, and retail sector, as I mentioned, like there are 30 plus sector skill councils, and we work closely with sector skill council, which gives us a direct access to the industry. Now, skill, if it is not demand driven, it's futile. Why is this so it's futile? Because if it only based on the input side, and we really don't see the output where the skilled student is going to get a job end of the day, what we are creating is nothing but again a skilled unemployment. So therefore I think NSDC, SSC and by large MSD, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, this policymakers and the engine the way they work, I think it helps us enormously in reaching out to more and more students to get them a right traction by doing the skill and place them in the industry.
Okay. One last question common to all of you. Okay, what do you think individually that we need to do as Indians to create as many job opportunities for fellow Indians to be placed abroad? So Sunil, you can begin.
The first thing is, we talked about it in earlier session, dignity. We need to respect the job that we are doing. That is really lacking in India. If you go to any developed country, even a janitor there is respected. He respects his job, other people also respect it. That is one thing which is clearly lacking in India. People want to be engineers, people want to be doctors, people want to be go to IAS or do MBA and all. The aspirational value which is linked with all these shop floor jobs or say the shop floor jobs is lacking in India. We as workers, we don't like it, and the people out, the society also doesn't respect it. So that is one thing we as Indians are collectively doing wrong.
Okay, so what do you think?
I strongly believe the sectoral associations and chambers of commerce, whose it is in their business interest, and it's in their interest to promote their own business. They have a certain moral, ethical, social responsibility to give back something to the society, and therefore they are much better placed. For example, an industry association, agribusiness industry association, that industry will have enough domain expertise about agribusiness, and therefore they will be in a much better position to skill people in the matter of agribusiness or food processing. I believe industry associations, chambers of commerce should play a big role in promoting skill. I would even go to the extent of saying, currently, I suspect they are abdicating their responsibility. I think that should not be allowed.
Alina?
Honestly, see as a individual, if I have to say from a personal level, I'm not a very big fan of advocating employability abroad. I am a very die-hard person who believes that, and that I hold to even for my own son. I think it's nice to stay back in the country and really, we were born in this country and we were born here with a purpose. And I think that's what we need to find our purpose in life, because the grass is always greener on the other side. It's probably only when you've lived there, you've traveled there. I've been to Germany in 10 years, maybe with the chamber, maybe 20 times. And somehow my personal opinion is that I think we as Indians are far more liberated, we are far more forward thinkers. There are people who we perceive just because they are dressed better than us that they probably know more. I don't think that's true. I think we are far greater in terms of our outlook, and I think we need to capitalize that in the country itself. So unfortunately, I'm not an advocate of skills going to global markets. That's what we're trying to do.
That's a pat on the back, but Vijay, it's country. But anyways, we all guys sitting over here.
I'm sorry if you thought that it's because it's the Indo-German.
No, you have a view, and no view is.
So if I have to say it as a chamber chair, I mean, even as a chamber, I don't think we actively promote. Of course, we're trying to help our companies to have people in Germany. But I think our primary focus is to help German companies to establish themselves in India and to work better in India. So it still remains a
India is a part of the global marketplace. You don't have to differentiate between, I won't take Indian job, I want to be trained to get a job in Europe for the years of only skill development is skill development. Whether that person gets a job within India or outside India is, in my opinion, immaterial or less material.
But Radhika, well said, because we all sitting over here now in India, we are doing our jobs in India, so nobody is going to mind. So there's not a problem. So Samir, yeah. And one second, Dr. Grani, I have taken 15 minutes deliberately, is because before I started this session, it was a normal day, but Sir said it's the longest day of the year. It was June. I had another kind of 15 minutes more.
So my submission is,
Of course it is. The audience will come over here.
so in the last, to respond to your question, I take a stand, given the things which my colleagues have spoken about. So given that delivery is there, given that the economic system is moving, given that we local or global, and taking your views, people sitting here, I think my submission would be each one to skill one. If you take this as an initiative today in India as a 1.3 billion, I think we are creating India as a skill hub for development. Everybody has to skill at least one from his own life. I will skill my baby driver. I will skill my married son or daughter. I will skill my own daughter. I will skill my own son. I will skill myself. I think that's what my submission is, to create this as a skill capital for the world.
Fantastic. I think this panel discussion has been more than interesting, and we have many stalwarts sitting in the audience. You have Mr. Srinivas, you have Professor Supatkar, you have Deepak Garekar, and you have everybody who is a patron of this subject. So, without taking any more time, I am keeping this question and answer session open to you. So, here you have 4 expert panelists, and open to you with all your
Can I
questions.
take a moment, please? Sure. Even though it's the longest day today of the year, we all have to go back, and there is one more panel discussion that is waiting to happen. So make sure there is one question for panelists, and you can take it offline whilst we have a tea. So we have a 15 minutes break after this panel discussion. You can please take forward your discussion, but right now, one question for panelists, please.
Feel free to accept me.
Yes.
I'm actually a textile person and I've been working with the grassroots women. Now I have been trying to understand this whole issue. It's a vicious cycle. See, there are people who are skilled. Say India has a lot of skill. Usually I come from a textile sector, which is almost second in the sector. Say weavers, dyers, painters, or everybody who's into handicrafts. Now because it is not paid properly, there is no money, so people are not obligated. They are plastic. The traditional and good leader does not make his own sound. Now that's the vicious cycle company.
You are it?
I can answer it partly, for sure, right? See, as I mentioned in my first skill, that today the vocational skill is definitely as a challenge for me as a parent, for my child to create as aspirational career path. Every parent in the society always thinks that his children should get into some corporate office and do office job. Trust me, I mean, there is a good story which is there. A plumber comes to home and he does his tap repair. And when he checks with the man of the house, so what do you do, sir? So he said, oh, I'm an engineer in my company. And plumber said, okay, I left that, but the way the plumber gets the payment for that specialized job, I think it's a time it has to come out that special skill, being the engineer, I have to hire an engineer to get my plumbing done. Just it's a time. Today again I take back this NSCC stand. The way that ad is replaying with Sachin Tendulkar and that carpenter, both are playing with the wooden bat, right? But the Sachin, the way he has got status in the sports by his skill as a cricket, the time is the testimony, soon it will come where that carpenter will be paid his due respect by that payment when he does his carpentry in your and my house one day.
Questions from the audience, please? You don't have any? Thank you so much. Okay, now I will take this opportunity to invite Mr. Sahu so that he can give the token of appreciation through our organization and IMC to all the panelists. We start with Mr. Prashant from Viswanagar. Mr. Joshi. Mr. Adhika. Mr. Chandrasekhar. And Mr. Mohan.